And we begin with the Isese Day Festival. Well, every August the 20th, the Yorubas celebrate what is called the Isese Festival. The Isese Day, which has been set aside to celebrate the indigenous Yoruba culture and tradition, as well as the preservation of the Yoruba heritage. The Lagos State government, as well as Ogun, Oyo and Lagos, declared today as Work-Free Day to also promote oneness, unity, and religious harmony among the Yorubas. And those are some of pictures of the celebration which happened yesterday there on your screens. But this has generated some reactions and divergent reactions, I must say, Ibrahim. There are those who are not really comfortable with this celebration, or giving a day to say, okay, this is a public holiday to celebrate Isese Festival. But there are those who are saying, oh, the governments, the state governments of the Southwest that have decided to take this step have done something commendable, if I may use the word, looking at oneness, unity, like we mentioned, for these persons to feel a sense of belonging and getting that recognition from government. In fact, some went ahead as saying, okay, it should even have constitutional backing. So there are legal instruments to justify this decision by states in the Southwest, such that some other states, even though it's not all the states in the Southwest that have decided, it's just about 3 of them, talking about Osun, Ogun, and Oyo. Kwara State, Lagos. And Kwara State, it was made in controversy some time ago. There were some Muslim clerics that came out to say that the priestess cannot, go ahead with the Isese Day festival, and the Sulu Gambari, who is the emir of Kwara State, had to come out to say, okay, to avoid any form of chaos, this celebration was not going to happen. And then we saw the Nobel laureate talking about Wole Soyinka also coming to say that you should allow people have, all of their celebration and all of that, get this integration such that, because issues like this, stamping, saying that, okay, there can't be this celebration is what brings about, the agitation by some groups and all of it. But let's hear your perspective to this.
Well, Isese or Isese, depends on where exactly you're from. If you're from Osun State, you're more likely to say Isese. I'm basically predominant in Lagos, so we say Isese in most times. So it's all about, it's the same thing, just the Yoruba tradition, being brought back to life. There are some people that have never left it. It's the way they met their forefathers doing it. And they would say that majority of us have taken on Islamic religion and Christian religion. But this is a country where we know that it's a secular state, and the fundamental human rights is captured in the Constitution. Section 38 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, said that that's the right to freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religion. It said, every person shall be entitled to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, including freedom to even change your religion if you decide to. So nobody should, hold you. Even your parent can't force you to, take on certain religion. But one thing that is very striking is that you see some of these clergymen talk about the pastors and the affairs, so to speak. They will say, no, this is traditional worshiping. But you see what some of them are doing underneath. It's even more than what the tradition. No, I'm telling you, that's absolute fact. What some are doing, basically they introduce traditional worshiping into their own religion. And because I was taken aback when I saw the cleric in Kwara State who was saying, no, you can't do this here. You can't do. First and foremost, the Constitution gives them the backing.
Absolutely, freedom.
You can move. As long as they are not coming into your room, nobody can lay claim to that river. It's under the government's purview. It's under the government's right to say, okay, these are the people that can access it or not. So if you are saying they can't do it, you are going against what your own religion also tells you. Because if you check the Quran, in Quran, I think 109, verse 6 says that your religion is for you, mine is for me.
Right.
Quran 2:256 says, there shall be no compulsion in religion. So the way of the right and the wrong is clearly manifest. So if you are saying that others cannot practice their religion, and your own religion, you want to practice it, you want to impose it on others, even if you're not imposing it, I don't think
on their rights.
It's actually, hypocrisy. To me, the way I see it, is actually hypocrisy, because you should allow them to practice. Because if you're saying you're living after the Holy Prophet of Islam, when they came to him back then in the day, they said, okay, fine, we see that your religion is now being clearly established. But then, why don't we come together? Why don't we have our own celebration today? You join us, and when it's time for your own celebration, we also join you. That was when the verse was revealed that, no, your religion, tell them, your religion is for you, and my religion is for me. And you have to live, you have to cohabit peacefully. There has to be, peaceful coexistence in society.
The concern for some is the sacrifices that are being made, and all of it, that some have said that the world has moved past some of these things.
So it's like back in dark ages.
It's for them. It's like you're having those sacrifices, carrying these things, and a lot of them do not find it comfortable to see such things, perhaps on the ground, at junctions and different places, and seeing libation being poured, seeing perhaps the blood of some things being killed in form of sacrifice. Not everyone, right, can find it comfortable seeing such things or seeing you doing some of these things. And aside that, some persons, look at Oro, for instance. You are meant to stay in your house indoors because this festival is happening.
Whether you are
a traditionalist or not, which was what the Oluwa of Iwo was saying, that you should not, deny others of their rights because you want to carry out your own festival,
right,
so to speak. What if people have some emergencies, there are issues? That is his own perspective to all of these festivities. And so how it infringes on the rights of others, everyone is coming out to say, my right, I have the right to express myself, to say that I am not comfortable with what you are trying to do, because I am not comfortable with the mode of these festivities, the sacrifices and some of the things you will be doing. So I believe the Islamic clerics too have a right to speak.
Yes, that's right. That should not.
If they are not comfortable, they have their own right to speak about what they are not comfortable with. And the Sulu Gambari coming in is trying to ensure that there is some level of peace and sanity.
And that's what's
in the community, so that it is not a matter of you against me when the festivities come up. So I do not necessarily see hypocrisy in what they did.
No, when I say hypocrisy,
themselves.
I'm saying that those who are saying that the traditional worshippers do not have a say, did not have the right to their own freedom of religion. That's what I'm saying. That they even take on what these traditionalists, what they do. They introduce it to their own religion, which is essentially not there. For instance, stargazing is not part of Islam. Fortune telling is not part of Islam. They introduced it, and I was listening to one radio show on my way to the office. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago, where an Isese man, a traditionalist, was saying that those who even take sacrifice to the junction, the T junction, or wherever you find it, they are not even the Isese people, the traditionalists themselves. That it is the incursion of pastors and imams, so to speak, into traditional worship
practices.
That they are the one that they normally take their own sacrifice, they keep it. They do it inside. I was like, no, I don't think I want to agree with this. But the man was saying that that's actually the way it's done. So where there should be, essentially, there should be peaceful coexistence. If the Oro festival affects my freedom of movement, I think that's where the government should come in.
Start looking.
There should be a way. Okay, so how do you, if you want to do yours, follow these routes? And there is no way you can even define your route because everyone uses it. But if it is my own area of worship, my own citadel of worship, then let us stay there. If this is where the mosque is, let us stay there. So I shouldn't be found wanting, coming to your own place of worship to say, no, you can't practice what you believe in. Or you coming over to my place and saying, I can't practice what I believe in. So that's where the government should come in. And I think in solidarity with them, saying that we also, building Yoruba culture, bringing back Yoruba culture, that's why they also give them they recognize the the Isese
Yeah,
Day.
because
so in all, it's a
the
secular
matter
country.
of our culture being eroded has been a conversation over the years, that we are now adopting the culture of the West. And so some of these things is to remind people of their roots, where they're coming
Religion
from.
is part of culture. Culture is part of religion, but you decide what your culture is going to be.
Of course,
if
of
you want
course.
to be,
Yes,
yeah.
but like it's been said, or like I was saying, there are those who believe that culture is being eroded because we are adopting a foreign culture, so to speak, be it via religion or our practices, whichever way. And so they are trying to ensure that we remember our roots. And I'm not surprised that states like Osun State, which is set to be Ile-Ife, for instance, being the cradle of Yoruba civilization, and all of it is adopting that day. We have another Egungun festival in Oyo State. And then we have Ojude Oba in Ogun State. So I'm not
in Ijebu.
Yes, so I'm not surprised that these states came out to recognize this festival, so to speak, as well as Lagos State. But we'll have to leave the conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely.